I hope everyone's really well and enjoying this amazing sunshine. So we're going to do a full face of makeup today. So let's get started. Rose water. Closes those pores, takes down puffiness, and is a full stop to your cleanse. Absolute godsend. So then we're going to use a tiny little bit of Glorious, because Glorious is our primer and everybody needs to prime. So we're just going to put that across our face. Now you can see my problem areas, like how I suffer with my skin. So today is the day I'm going to show you how to cover. So make sure this is really well blended. And you need to make sure also that you give it a good 5 minutes to set. You know, in my morning routine, I'll probably put this on and then go and brush my teeth or make a cup of tea, just to make sure that it's nice and settled and it's filling all those pores and it's nice and comfortable, you know, doing what it's supposed to do. So we're going to give that 5 minutes. Be back in 5. Okay, so let's talk Corrective palette. I've got a Corrective palette here, and what I do is I do this first before I do anything else. So the peachier tones are going to get rid of my dark circles. So I'm just going to use my blending bud and just apply around the places that are dark. So this is the peachier tone. Now for my blemishes, we're going to go in with a little bit of green, which is the green one, and we're just going to pop that on top of any redness that I've got, any spots, any blemishes. And again, this is just evening out skin tone. And so I'm just going to apply it to the bits. Don't need that level of attention. Okay, Corrective palette done. Let's go on to our concealer. So I'm just going to let that settle just for a second while I put a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand. Now the concealer that I use is Scarlet by Younique, and it is the Skin Perfecting Concealer, but it's the Mineral Touch. It's not the, obviously it's not powder, it's the liquidy. Right, this is my concealer brush. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the back of my hand and just run it through the brush. And then I'm going to apply it just in a little triangle coming down the face. I'm going to take a little bit more. I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm just placing currently, I'm not blending. So I'm literally just placing it. I'm going to create a little V on my forehead and just come down my nose a little bit. And just under my chin. I'm going to take my blending bud again, and I'm just going to go in and evenly distribute that concealer. Good. Now everybody has obviously different skin types, different colourings, everything's always going to be different. So even though I've used Scarlet, I'm actually going to use Taffeta today because it is the summer, and even though I am pale, I am going to want to use a different colour in the summer to the winter because obviously my skin tone is going to change. So even though I'm going to be using lighter colours in the winter to match my paleness, so what Taffeta is going to do is it's just going to make sure I get the right level of coverage for my skin. So because I have a neutral skin tone, I can actually use quite a broad range of colours from Scarlet, Organza to now Taffeta. So I'm just going to take my blending brush and I'm just going to okay, base done. Fresh mineral concealer, and I am just going to apply it to my top lid. This acts like a superb base in order to stop it from moving, creasing to some brows. So I'm going to take a little brush and I'm going to brush them down. My eyebrows have been tinted and they have been shaped, so it makes this job a lot easier. So we're using palette 1, and today I'm going to actually mix a little bit of chipper and a little bit of Forthright on my one brush. Actually, I'm just tidying it up with my brush. Make sure that's a really nice crisp line. So now I'm actually using Hermosa at the moment. Again, the sunshine's changed, therefore my face skin tone has changed, therefore I'm kind of changing my colours up a little bit. Now I'm going to do a little bit of this before my contouring palette, because I'm going to put a little bit on afterwards as well. Just tiny little bit around the top. Just make sure that is really well blended all the way around. Okay, sculpting palette. I use Light, which I love. I think this stuff is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Suck your cheeks in, hollow out your frame, cheekbones at the top, and you're running it underneath your cheekbones to the top of your ear, like so. Go back in, like so. Okay. So I'm just going to pop a little bit at the top here, and I'm not using a lot here because if you've watched any of my other videos you know that darkness pushes back, lightness pushes forward. I've already got a small forehead, I don't want to shrink it down anymore. So we're going to go into our sculpting palette again, into the middle one, and I'm just going to pat a tiny bit of powder underneath my eye and just highlight those bits up a little bit. And it's also going to just act like a little set of a bit around the chin and a bit on my forehead here. Okie dokie. Take my brush again. I haven't dipped it in the bronzer, I am just using it just to blend some of that through. So it's a dry brush, just using it to blend through. Okay, palette 3. Palette 3 eyeshadow. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Taking my deluxe brush into Tickled. It's quite a chunky brush. I'm going to pull that Tickled up. Tap the excess off. Just apply it across the top. Okay, take my blending brush and just blend it up to your brow bone. I love this colour. I just love this colour, it's amazing. Okay, so then I'm going to go into Ecstatic. And I'm just going to place it in the crease of my eye with my crease brush. Go back into Ecstatic, into the crease. And again, the first step, I'm just placing it, you know. I'm not blending right now, I'm just placing it. So I want to take it a little bit higher. Go back to my blending brush and just pull it through. So the colour across the lid at the moment is only our fresh mineral concealer. Because it is me, I'm going to go for brassy, and I'm just going to place a little bit inside here. Really gently inside, and I'm just going to go across the lid a little bit as well. Okay. Take my black pencil. I'm just going to run a little smudge across the top of my lid, and go across to the other side and do the same, so it's smudged up a little bit. Then we'll go into the waterline, and I'm just adding to the corners. So I'm going to take my angled brush, I'm just going to pull that through. Now if you want to at this point, because we put a little bit underneath as well, you could put a little bit of powder underneath, but I'm not going to today. But you can always kind of create a bit more of that smoky eye with that effect. I'm going to take my white liner and I'm going to add a tiny little bit to the inside and just blend it into, just to open my eye up just a little bit. So that white will be going into that dark. And because we put the brassy here and then we're putting the white inside, it's just going to open your eyes up. Okay, I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of highlighter. Top of my nose and upwards. Top of my cheeks. Okay, pouty. With this, go up. Okay, fuller lips. And cross. You'll notice I'm actually applying it on the line. So ever so slightly above my natural lip line. And then crossing it over below my lip line as well. And I'd always do this with pouty. And drawing a line upwards, in there, okay, and downwards. Does that make sense? Cross, line, 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 and obviously on the lip line and just on the outside of the lip. Okay, see that? Awesome. I'm going to take my white liner so that they're getting fuller and fuller. Then we can take our lip gloss, and the one that I'm actually using today is Lovesick. And just apply it all the way around. Thing about this is that you can use lipsticks, no problem at all. When we're doing big lips, I like lip gloss because it's reflective, it's shiny. Much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you want to contact me, it's Gemma Strudwick or it's Rockerface, and you can just go to my Facebook page, or you can go to my Snapchat, which is rockerchick1, or you can email me at sales@rockerface.co.uk. I'm just buzzing to hear from you because I just love this stuff and I just want to share it. So I hope you're all good and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll chat to you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.